So this is it, the make it or break it part of the guitar. If this color doesn't work, I am going to cry tears and then sand it back and try it again. Joking though, this is actually one of about 3 or 4 different colors of green that I tried. This is the lighter of the group. Went again going with the lighter because I'm gonna bring in that edge as kind of a little bit of a black burst and draw some of it towards the center so it'll darken it up. Not gonna go with a hard burst, a really dark edge. I want it to be more kind of like a vignette and sort of draw your eye towards the center rather than force it to the center. Nothing wrong with those harder bursts, you know, they all have their merits. It really just comes down to preference. You know, what's your preference? What are you looking for out of this project? What do you want to achieve? You know, what work within your means? What do you think you can achieve? Push yourself, you know, just set a goal and try to work towards it or past it. The mixture of this is actually a yellow Kita wood dye and an aquamarine blue ink dye from RIT that I picked up from Michael's. So yeah, I'm mixing an ink dye with a wood dye. Crazy, huh? I tried the blue Kita dye mixture, but for some reason I just could not get it to come out as dark of a blue as I needed. I even ordered a second kit and did the whole pack, the blue, and even a partial of another pack blue, and just still couldn't get to it. So the aquamarine worked out fantastic, so I ran with it. A lot of experimentation prior to coming to this color. Probably spent about a half a day just mixing colors, trying them out on scrap wood, like you saw in the last video, and even did different passes, different layers. You know, did it look better to have a yellow down, then put a blue on top of it to get the green, or vice versa, or was it better to pre-mix the color and then put it down? I went with a pre-mix mainly because it was a lot easier to get the color that I wanted doing it that way, and just to save me a little bit of time, and you know, got what I needed out of it. There's a lot of different ways to achieve things, different techniques. You know, I had scoured the internet, watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, looked at forums, pictures, you know, what were people saying, what were people doing, what were the trials and errors that they came across, how did they overcome them, what are different techniques, all kinds of stuff like that. And you find a bunch of different ways to do things, and it's awesome. You take it and you apply it to what you're doing, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you try something different. You know, again, it just kind of goes back to personal preference, what's going to work for you. I applied a lot of stuff that I had learned watching those videos onto this, as well as leaving room for trial and error myself, you know, and learning from some mistakes, and you know, just giving myself some room to grow and figure things out. You know, it's a big part of the process of making these guitars, is figuring things out as you go. Jumping back to that first subject in the first video of quality between these kits, you know, that level of how much work you have, extra work you have to do, you know, really is determined by the quality of kit that you get. This being kind of a like I said, a mid-range kit, it does have its flaws in it, but you know, again, it's just something that you work through, you work past. Some of the less expensive kits, cheaper kits, you know, your materials are less, the craftsmanship prior to it getting to you, you know, might be a lot less. One of the things with this guitar that you probably have already noticed is up at that top horn by the neck pocket, and from this angle it'd be the bottom horn, kind of right to the left of the screen there. There's that little rectangular white mark. And what that is most likely is a glue spot. So when they glued the veneer on or when they were gluing the binding on, they got a little bit of glue on the front side of that and didn't get it off in time or cleaned back or sanded, and it kind of acted as a wood filler, unfortunately rejecting any stain or dye that you put on it. So not a big deal. It's a small blemish in it and I can live with it. I tried to get it out. I had it sanded a little bit, but really couldn't get to it, so I left it as it is. So here I brought in that black edge a little bit and kind of trying to get it less defined, and a lot of that, just like I said, is just keeping those rags saturated, switching back and forth. It went from being a hard line now to barely even know it's there. Just working around it, constantly keeping it moving so I can get that blend just right. That fade from the dark to the light, just the way I want it. A lot of it is, just working from the outside in to the inside out, going back and forth. So just applying a little bit of color at a time, going back over it with some of that darker color on the edge, and then at a little bit later in the video I'll go back to that original green and start in the center again and work my way back out, and vice versa. You're just gonna work from the outside in to the inside out and back and forth till you get that line to disappear and you get that color the way you want it. This video is unedited. I did an edited version of this and threw it out. It just trying to get it down to 3.5 minutes. I had to cut so much out of it that it kind of ruined the journey of this process. And for anybody out there who is looking at this from an experimental standpoint or an informational standpoint, trying to figure out if it's something that you want to do or try, or just try a different technique or watch what somebody else is doing. It helps to see it from start to finish, because a lot of these spots here where you are doing this blend, if you cut a chunk out of it, you might completely miss how something got to be the way it was. It just was a defined line 1 second, and then all of a sudden it was gone the next. How did you get to that point? So I left it as is, and it's about a 12-minute video, which is about exactly how long the process took. And it's fun. It's a fun journey. It's fun watching this the front of this guitar just completely transform. Laying down that color for the first time and watching that figure and the grain pop out it was awesome. Got a little freaked out when I couldn't get part of that edge, that first black edge, to go away, but just kind of stayed calm and focused and remembered that this is a water-based color that I'm working with here, and you just kind of have to keep it saturated, keep it moving, keep those rags swapped out, and keep pushing that color around and work at it until you get it. And ultimately, if it didn't go away and I wasn't happy with it, I'd let it dry and I'd sand it off, or sand it back, or just work with the situation at hand. A lot of it is just trying to figure things out as you go. I did a 6-string bass kit at the same time I was building this kit, which I did video for as well, and I'll post after this. But it was a slightly lower quality kit. I paid about $210 for it. Got it off of eBay. I sold my store-bought bass 4-string for that, and got the 6-string, and just sold it for approximately the same amount of money that I bought the kit for. So really it was just a repurposing of money. Same way this kit was. I sold an Epiphone Les Paul just traditional cherry sunburst on it, and got exactly what I needed to get this kit. So just again repurpose that money, and like my wife would say, it just would mean more to me to have something that I built rather than something that I bought. So made it a whole heck of a lot easier to part with those instruments, and get these kits to work with. That bass kit, I ran into a lot of spots in that where I had glue issues. One spot where it was actually already at the factory had been sanded through. It was a very small amount of top veneer that was sanded through, but it was enough to not be able to get that stain to take right to it, that dye. And it kind of overlapped around to the edge of the guitar. There was no binding on it, so I just kind of worked with it. I won't give too much away because I'll show the video and kind of talk about what I did in that situation, and a few things to try out, and what worked with me. And ultimately I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but as long as it sets up right, just the same as this guitar. If it sets up right, plays nice, and looks halfway decent, I'm a happy camper. I did my job. I'm not building this to sell it. I have no intentions. This is going to be part of my family for as long as I can keep it in the family, barring anything catastrophic happening. This will get passed down to my kids someday if they want it. So at that point, the pressure was off. I didn't have to appease to anybody, so just kept working at it till I got what I wanted, and show you the rest of the videos here soon. So enjoy.